Hello to my regular podcast. My name is Martin Kuppinger. Let's look at one of these questions I'm asked quite frequently. Shall we use identity and access management from the cloud? First, it's not identity and access management as the one big thing. It is a lot of very different disciplines. We have the three main ones, which are IAM, so the identity governance and administration, so identity life cycles, access governance, all that stuff. We have access management, so federating users in authentication, all these things. And we have privileged access management for the highly privileged accounts, plus a range of other disciplines. And so the answer might be slightly different depending on what are we looking at. But basically, there's a simple element in that answer based on two fundamental changes we see. The first of these fundamental changes is that more and more critical business workloads are shifting to the cloud. And if the workloads are deployed as a service, then the management of security for these workloads should be provided from the cloud. So apparently it makes a lot of sense to also shift identity management gradually to the cloud, because we have reached this tipping point, almost for many organizations at least, where the most of the critical workloads, or the bigger part of critical workloads, are in the cloud, and then the infrastructure management should be there as well. That is one factor we are seeing. The other is that we see this shift to, in the broadest sense, zero trust, where clients access services which run somewhere. And this is also something which goes away, or leads us away from our traditional perimeter-based thinking, our data centers. And then again, for such environments where the internal network not necessarily is part of the entire access anymore, it makes sense to manage this from the cloud. So basically, there's a clear tendency, there's a logic behind shifting from traditional on-premises identity management to cloud-based identity and access management. This is not a simple yes-no answer. We need to look carefully at each and every environment, the requirements regarding security, the status, and other stuff, but the tendency is very clear. It will be IDaaS in most areas over time. That is the basic element. This, by the way, also the basic element of what we call identity fabric. Syncing in services which you can deploy in a flexible manner and different deployment models, including full as a service models. So look at our research on identity fabrics and all the other stuff we provided, and think about how to shift your workloads. For sure, we will be more than happy to support you in revisiting your identity management strategy and shifting to a new modern strategy following what we call the paradigm of an identity fabric. Thank you for listening to me.